Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Garrett Abel. I work for the Peterson Company. I'm here with my friend Didier today, and we're talking cheese, specifically cheese plates and how we construct things in a mindful and meaningful way. I wanted to talk briefly about sourcing because first we got to buy our cheese, right? So I think it's really important to find a good connection within your market, whether that's a good local grocery store or an independent cheesemonger that you can go to and trust that'll learn your palate. I come from De Laurenti, 10 years of working down in the Pike Place market, and those guys are an amazing resource if you're here in Seattle to talk cheese day in, day out, and taste new things, try and experiment, and that's what it's all about. I'm going to quote one of my old colleagues actually. Cheese is like choose your own adventure and there are no wrong decisions. So today we're talking French cheese, we're talking American artisan cheese, we've got some Dutch cheese, and yeah, let's kind of dive into it. So my first cheese that I want to talk to you about is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. I mean, we have references 2,000 years ago in text to Cantal. So this is a Petit Cantalais entre deux. This is cow's milk cheese made kind of in the cheddaring style. So this is lactic and tangy, buttery and grassy, and really just a lovely piece of cheese. Another wonderful French cheese that we're going to talk about today is mimolette. So hailing from Normandy, this is our favorite little cannonball, and there's the joke that they used to load these into the cannons when they ran out of cannonballs on the French ships. So flavored and colored with annatto, it's nutty, it's rich, it's caramely, it's amazing, and adds a nice little pop of color to the cheese plate. And in that regard, I mean, we want to create multiple flavors, multiple color palettes, multiple textures throughout building our cheese plate. Moving on to our next cheese, we're going to jump into sheep's milk, and that's another important thing that I think when we build our cheese plates is a variety of milk types. So whether that's cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk, as well as bufala if we're talking Italian cheeses, but we're not talking Italian cheese today. We're all on for French Fest. So we've got this beautiful Gouda style cheese made in Holland with 100% sheep's milk. So really nutty and rich, caramely overtones and sweet. This is called lamb chopper. It's imported by an American producer down in California called Cypress Grove, which is famous for some other very cool French style goat cheeses. But this is their one sheep's milk cheese that we are talking about today. Let's see, next on the list, I think we can jump into some goat's milk. And while the Loire Valley in France is famous for goat's milk cheeses, especially Geotrichum rinds, we have some amazing American artisan producers using those traditions and using those styles to create some really interesting cheeses. And this is one called Coupole. And you can see it's got this brainy rind, that's the Geotrichum. It's a yeast strain that offers some sweetness that balances out the tartness and lactic tanginess of the goat's milk. And you have this gorgeous cream line, cakey center, so you really have an amazing experience texturally when you eat this piece of cheese, and absolutely fantastic. The other style of cheese that we always want to hit on, you know, are those soft ripened cheeses, brie styles, camemberts, triple cremes, and today we're eating an amazing triple creme. This is called Triple d'Argental. So Burgundy is amazing for area for creating triple cremes, and so this comes from that region. Buttery, little bit piquant. I mean, this is Champagne's best friend, and just it's a luxurious experience to eat this type of cheese. So we're gonna get into that a little bit today. Blue vein cheeses are also important, you know, when we're talking about building a really complete cheese plate. Blues can range from really mild to really, really strong. I wish I had a piece of Roquefort here with me today because that is a national treasure of France, as well as being the very first PDO to ever be created within the food world. So that's the protected designation of origin, and Roquefort, obviously we all know, comes from a very small village, you know, really amazing natural rock caves, 100% sheep's milk. Today we're going to dig into a little bit of blue cheese from actually Germany, which is on the milder side, a little creamier, a little less blue veining. But yeah, these blue cheeses are inoculated with Penicillium roqueforti and then injected with air to create these blue veins. So that's where we get all this nice bluing from and lovely depth of flavor. So this one's on the milder side, but like I said, when you can get a piece of Roquefort, get a piece of Roquefort because it is the end-all be-all of all great blue cheeses. Let's see, what else do we have on the list, DDA? Something that also is amazing, an American artisan version of something really traditional in France and Switzerland. So this is an American version, basically a vache à manteau. So 100% cow's milk wrapped with spruce bark from the farm in Vermont, actually. And for this, we're just gonna cut the top off and we're gonna dig into it with a spoon. So as you can see, it's just ooey gooey deliciousness. You get these really rich savory notes, pork fat and bacon. Obviously none of that is part of the cheese making process, but this is the beauty of changing milk from fluid milk into cheese, and there's just thousands of possibilities. So this one's gonna go center plate on our cheese plate today. I'm gonna grab a spoon for that guy. And yeah, I think that's our little cheese plate here. One of the other things that I really like to throw on a cheese plate is butter. And that's something that Americans aren't really used to, but this guy right here, this is Paysan Breton. This is Brittany butter with huge drops of sea salt. And that adds so much complexity to the cheese board, and if you put a little bit on this on the baguette and then your blue cheese, it mellows out the blue a little bit, but also the salt enhances all the flavors that you're eating. So we're gonna scoot this to the side a little bit so I can pull over just what I think a nicely composed cheese plate looks like. I'm not complicated. This is simple. This is an easy thing for you to do to entertain with your family, with your friends, but cheese is at the backbone of French gastronomy, and we just want to always make sure that we're looking for the best quality cheeses, looking for our good producers, and supporting everybody in this industry. So without further ado, salut and happy French Fest. Cheers, guys.